If your calendar's full, but your life feels empty, it's time to realign. Burnout almost broke me. I was scaling a business, hitting goals, and posting up wins. But behind closed doors, I was exhausted, short with the people I loved, and spiritually, it was non-existent. This video isn't about hustle, grinding 24/7. It's about building a life and business you don't grow to hate. And if you're feeling like you're burnt out, frustrated, or doing the same thing and expecting different results, this video is for you. My name is Sean Myers, and I'm the founder of Level Up and Live. And I help business owners design a life they don't grow to hate without sacrificing their health, relationships, or spirituality through accountability, clarity, support, guidance, and community. I've built, scaled, and sold businesses, but the most important build was actually myself. Let me take you back. It was December of 2021 where I had put my head down in the sand, was grinding 24/7, being a new business owner and building my insurance agent locally here in Montgomery County. I had achieved all the goals, the aspirations, my dreams, and everything that I wanted to do in setting the why behind starting that business. Fast forward 2021, I hit a wall. You know that time where if you're a business owner or a leader, typically in November or December, you're spending the time and allocating for what the next year is going to look like. And for me, I had done that year after year after year. And it was always just stretching the goals to higher income, higher revenue, more employees. And I realized that I was not happy. I was miserable. I was lacking fulfillment. And I had to reflect. And it came to a point in my life where I was doing the same thing and expecting different results. So that's when I had a conversation with a close individual of mine in December of 2021. He said and brought to my attention, why don't you hire a coach? Why don't you look into hiring a coach? Immediately, I said, I don't need to hire a coach. I can do it all myself. I'm a DIYer. There's YouTube, there's podcasts. I can figure it out on my own. Well, this was a huge mistake and the wrong mindset. Let me be super clear. It was in that moment where I think this is where the Holy Spirit started working through me. Laid the mustard seed down. I came home that afternoon and I punched in Google coach in Montgomery County. Now, I had at this point never invested any money into myself. I was always reinvesting funds back into marketing, sales, employees, office, overhead expenses. But I never invested any money into myself. So once the coaches popped up on Google, I think 5 popped up. I reached out to all 5 of them and one of them got back to me. We ended up jumping on an initial consultation and I told him what I was going through. He said he could help me out. He told me the number that it would cost for coaching. And it was in that moment where I could continue to go down the path that I was going down and still be miserable and painful, or I could choose this other path, invest X amount of money into this program, this 90-day program, and then hope that everything works out. Fast forward 3 months, I was able to go through this program, invested in myself, and he was able to slow me down to go fast. One of the things that I took away from this experience was burnout isn't just physical exhaustion. It's an emotional misalignment. You weren't made to grind 24/7. I wasn't made to grind 24/7. It's not strength. It's actually a slow death is what I've learned. If you ever felt that tension having a full schedule like I did, you feel like you're dying slowly inside or you're dying that slow death, then drop a comment below. You're not alone. And if this resonates so far, subscribe. I drop content every week to help business owners get breakthroughs. Once I was able to pivot and hire this coach, and he was able to slow me down to go fast, about 6 weeks in, after a phone call that I was frustrated on because I wasn't seeing progress, he was able to express my frustration and say that to give him 24 hours to respond and in an email on the next steps in the next direction. I get this email and it says in the email, Sean, are you showing up as Superman or Clark Kent? And it was in that moment where I had an aha moment. I was showing up as Superman. I was masking. I was all external. That was the catalyst. And that's what catapulted me next 3 years of going on my spiritual journey. So it was in that moment where he was able to ask the right questions, slow me down, and have the hard conversations where I was able to pivot and make adjustments. And I felt empowered. I felt challenged and I felt humbled, and there was a lot of humility. Once I started going through this transformational journey, for me, one of the things I realized that 6 to 12 months is I got clear, I had support, I had guidance, and I had community. I had people to lean on. It was in that moment where I had created and started formulating the Level Up and Live pillars, which is just that: support, guidance, community, accountability, clarity. And with these pillars, it allowed me to transform my life in all areas of life. I started losing weight. I was 30 pounds overweight. Then I started dropping the weight after experiencing this transformation. My marriage started improving because I was more intentional. I was showing up present. I started designing the life that I wanted to live. Before that, I was all external. The houses, the cars, the cash flow. It was all about everybody else. It was external forces. But once I looked inwards, I was able to get very clear and very intentional on what it is and the life that I wanted to live. So then I felt called to equip and help people that were going through the same experience that I have experienced over the last 3 years. So a takeaway that I want you to take away is you don't need more hustle. You don't need more grind. You don't need more hours during the day. You just need more alignment. Start with these 3 things that I hope that are very helpful for you. 1, audit your calendar. What's giving you life versus draining it? 2, prioritize your health, movement, sleep, and food. These are the basics. These are the pillars of life. Without sleep, food, and movement, then you're just in the rat race and you're cog in a wheel where you're doing the same thing over and expecting different results. You're not getting that time to rest and refuel. The 3rd one, plug into a community. Isolation will crush your clarity. That's what it did for me for 5 years. Sure, it got me to where I needed to go, but the ego and pride was in the driver's seat. And by being isolated, which is a weapon, if you're not aware of it, it can be a weapon for disaster because we are our worst own enemy. So those are the 3 that I would challenge you, empower you to implement. This is exactly why I created our weekly Level Up and Live Mastermind group. We meet every Friday in Montgomery County with business owners just like you. We are building aligned lives, making it a priority, and not just stacking our bank accounts, houses, cars. And if you're local, DM me or comment mastermind below and I'll get you the details. Fast forward these 3 years, everything has leveled up. It has allowed me to level up and live my best life. It has allowed me to be focused and intentional and create and design the life that I want to live. So on an average week, on an average day, for me, it is very designed. It is very structured. If you ask any of the people that know me in my groups, in my community, they will tell you that I am very intentional about every minute, every hour of every day. Why? Because our most precious asset is our time. So what are you doing in the here and the now? My marriage has improved because I stopped pointing the finger at my wife and I drew the circle around me and what I need to do as a leader and who I need to become that best husband, that best leader for my wife. Once I started doing that, it allowed me to look inward and go, I don't like the way I'm showing up in my communication. I don't like the way I'm criticizing or judging. Instead, I started looking at myself in the mirror. And so one of the things that I have learned in these different areas of life is you don't drift into the life that you love. How do we live a fulfilling life? How do we live our purpose-driven life? You don't just drift into it. You actually have to design it. That's my challenge to you, is designing the life that you want to live. We have one life to live and we better live it to its fullest. And so that's my empowerment to you. It's not about balance. I hear people say all the time, I'm going to balance. What I would encourage you to do is it's about building a rhythm and that you can sustain on a weekly basis that serves both your ambition, your needs, your wants, and your well-being. When you do this, then that allows you to not only fuel and recover and design the life that you want to live, be more empowered and more challenged to help others design the life that they want to live and pull them with you. Think about the people that have all the energy, all the charisma. They seem like they have it all together, the vitality, the bliss, the joy, the happiness. Those people, typically from my experience, have went through the pain cave, have experienced what we're talking about today. And they have cultivated and formulated, designing the life that they want to live. Burnout almost broke me, but it also was a catalyst to help me become who I am today. And I don't want you to wait until your life feels like it's falling apart to make a change like I did. And unfortunately, I feel like that's what a lot of us are going through. in our community in this day and age, in the world of chaos right now, is we wait until the last minute until where we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Let this be my challenge to you, that where can you start implementing this and designing the life and being intentional on how you want to live it? Because if you're not authentically feeling like you are alive every single day in doing the things that you know you should be doing, it's time to slow down to go fast and reach out. I'm here to help. I'm here to guide where I can. If this video hit home, subscribe, share it with another business owner who's grinding in silence, staying in isolation, that needs those pillars of life: support, guidance, community, clarity, and a purpose-driven leadership. And if you're local in Montgomery County, drop a comment or shoot me a message. Our mastermind meets every single Friday, and it's the community I wish I had when I was burnt out. We go deep, no surface level advice, just real growth, real clarity, and real connection. You don't have to hate the life you're building. You just have to be bold enough to rebuild it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. And if you got value from this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Also, if you want to dive deeper into winning your time and scaling your business, check out our Level Up Live Mastermind. Link is in the description. Go plan your week. Let's get after it.